Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Maddie, back at it again with today's video. It's gonna be another Monster Monday here, as you can see to my right next to me. But it's gonna be my top 5 monsters. We'll get into it. Number 1, we're gonna start off with. I think they're pretty powerful. Start them off especially at low levels, but ghouls, really powerful guys. They have a couple of moves. One being their bite and claw, their bite, the other being their claw. If they hit on their claw, the other combatant has to make a Constitution saving throw or risk getting paralyzed. If their prey gets paralyzed, the ghoul is going to start biting into it with its bite action, trying to eat that player alive, or take it back further away in safety and try to eat that player alive. So really fun. My players hate them, so don't overuse them. But they're definitely really fun. Good ambush, kind of in dungeons, prey, catacombs, something like that. That being said, going off the kind of dark, spooky vibes, but also keeping it lower level. Let me see if I can pull it up really quick. Nope, that's the wrong one. Sorry guys, I'm doing this all manual because I'm a goober. Just like my goobies here, you can follow us on the Patreon, like, favorite, and subscribe. Hit that alert button, that notification, that bell feature. You guys are amazing. But we're rolling into number 2 with the Shadow. The Shadow is pretty killer. Number 1, because of its high stealth. Number 2, because its ability, Shadow Stealth. While in dim light or darkness, the Shadow can take the hide action as a bonus action. So it can attack, take the opportunity of attack if it wants to flee, then try to hide immediately. It is weak to sunlight, but its only attack is its strength drain. It's a melee attack, it's necrotic damage, but the target that it hits, its strength is reduced by 1d4, and if that target's strength is reduced all the way to 0, they die, insta-kill, lose their strength, done. And they have a challenge rating of half. I'm going to be honest, I'm not one of the dungeon masters that's worried about balance or challenge rating or any of that, so if you want math or statistics, you're not going to get it here, man. I'm sorry, man. But he really cool guy. He's got dark vision, but imagine a shadowy, stealthy kind of killer. You especially throw like 4 or 5 at your players in like a dark crypt, a catacomb. I know I've already said that twice now. I can't think of a dungeon. Yes, in Dungeons and Dragons, a dungeon. What? Throw them in there. Low level too, so they're good cannon fodder. But at low level campaigns, if you throw 2 in there, a couple of players will have a rough time with it. It'll be fun. That'll be moving on to my. I'm doing like 5 of these. Yeah, I'm going on to number 3. Number 3, I would have to say, would be. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Sorry. No, number 3, I would have to say, would be the Werewolves of 5th edition. I like them. I just like werewolves. I used to play Magic the Gathering a lot. I made like some werewolves decks. But I like werewolves. I think they're cool. They've got the shape changer, of course, the keen hearing and smell, so they can track down whenever they need prey. They need trying to track somebody, they're gonna eat somebody. They're ravenous. They're hungry. But they're also great enemies because when they attack with their bite. Unless they can succeed on a Constitution saving throw, the target will be cursed with lycanthropy, so they'll become a werewolf as well. This has worked out pretty cool in my Curse of Strahd campaign. 2 of my players, one is trying to keep the curse and embrace it and draw power from it, and then the other's trying to get rid of it. So there's like 2 people, 2 different experiences. I really like the Werewolves of 5th edition. Definitely though, make sure to have them better in numbers. They're always hunting in packs. If I could recommend anything too, I would recommend The Monsters Know What They're Doing. It's by Keith Amon. I can drop a link down in the doobly-doo as well, but it really describes, it's a blog, he made it into a book, but it describes how, just like good fighting tactics for monsters and how they're not all just, oh, I'm gonna go run into combat. Okay, I hit. It's like, no, give them some tactics. If you give your monsters tactics, that makes the players think outside the box, and that gets them juiced up. But that being said, werewolves are just cool because they offer that curse aspect, and there's other lycanthropy, as well. But werewolves, come on. Going into number 2, this is going to be, if you're a veteran player, you're not going to want to ever see this ever. This is a rust monster. And it's like a little bug guy. He's got a speed of 40 though. I have no idea why. He can move. But he loves to eat metal. He's some sort of little monstrosity. I like to look at him kind of like a little bug, but he's got those antennas there. Oh yeah, right here. He's got his antennas, and they basically can detect metal, iron, and either corrode it or corrode it enough for him to eat it. He's gonna gobble up and corrode any of your party members' metal if they run across them in obviously a cave or a dungeon. He's not gonna be found anywhere. He might be outside around a mountain as well, a mountain range. I mean, if you just throw one of these or a couple of them, if you have a tank, a paladin, a cleric clad in armor, they don't want to mess with them. I guarantee you right now. I could read off the whole thing, but basically, if they're holding a weapon, they have to make a dexterity saving throw, the target does, or risk 1 cubic feet of that item being corroded. And it's at the DM's discrepancy, so you can be like, yeah, the hilt corroded off, or 1 foot of the blade is gone. Your longsword is now a short sword. It's like, what do I do now? It also does, if he is attacking if the rust monster is trying to corrode armor itself, if the armor is reduced to basically 10 AC, if the armor is reduced to 10 armor class, if the armor is reduced to 10 armor class, what's going to happen is that armor just corrodes. So, heavy chainmail, heavy ringmail, heavy homebrew armor, unless it's, if you watch Adventure Time, unless it's, then it's not gonna, that rust monster is gonna destroy its armor. So definitely recommend throwing it. And again, these are all like monsters for like lower level players stuff, because again, I've only really played in levels 1 through 5, nothing really above. I played a 1 level 10 game once. It was great, but it was overwhelming. Like at level 10 you can do so much, and I was so new at the game, it was ridiculous. So we survived, we beat it, but I just, these are for lower levels. There'll be a whole nother, this is Monster Mondays. This is the first one, don't worry, we're just getting started. But that's gonna leave us into the last monster. Hopefully you're not checking my YouTube history right there. But this one's, we're just gonna bring it into Curse of Strahd, one of the best monsters ever. No, I think vampires, vampire spawn are the coolest. Let me look up vampire spawn as well really quick. You guys hear that's the keyboard right there? Oh yeah, this is the 5th edition art. Basically somebody inflicted by vampirism. I have had a lot of fun running the Curse of Strahd game so far, especially role-playing as Strahd, being a bad guy that he's sitting around forever, and he really just wants to play cat and mouse because he's immortal and he's bored. What's he gonna do? He has all his little minions, and these guys are tanks. Vampire spawn are not to be messed with. They come in at a challenge rating of 5, and if you remember from before, I don't really worry about that, but it basically says 5 people level 1 could take this on, I think. Or yeah, exactly. I don't care about challenge rating. It doesn't even matter. And almost at 10 minutes, yeah. So we got to wrap this up here. But they've got, number 1, they've got the regen. I think vampirism is cool, but they have the regen, so they'll regenerate about 10 hit points every turn, or unless unless you want anything more. After that, they do have some weaknesses. Sunlight hypersensitivity, a stake in the heart, harmed by running water. I have no idea where that came from. If you want to drop in the comments where it came from, cool, educate me. No clue. And then forbiddance, you must invite me inside if I would like to enjoy the party. That's a vampire. They gotta come in. What am I trying to say? Curse of Strahd, the main bad guy, Count Strahd von Zarovich, he's a really high powerful wizard as well, but he's a vampire. But he's got they have cool charm powers, especially, and not just pertaining to Strahd too, but they have the charm where if the target's unable to succeed on a wisdom saving throw of 17 or higher, then they're going to regard the main vampire, they're going to regard him as, oh, he's my best friend. So in our Strahd campaign, Strahd charmed one of the players, and the player was playing it off perfectly. And he goes, I love you, Strahd, you're my best friend. It's just like, yeah, perfect. So it's really cool to charm one of the party members before anything kicks off. That way you can be like, hey. Now the charm can break if someone tries to hit the party member. They can remake that saving throw, or I think after 24 hours as well. Yeah, but they can't. They won't like kill themselves or whatever. They'll just do what he says, unless they get hit, or they can try to make that saving throw again. But I mean, vampires are really cool. I could talk forever about them. I could talk forever about other monsters, but hey, that's what other Monster Mondays are for. I appreciate you guys just coming out here, stopping by, checking out the video. We've got more Monster Mondays to come. My name's Maddie, and as always, you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much.